And welcome, students, as we dive into another lesson on troubleshooting. Today, we're going to talk about Fix Me, the broken browser. So before we can kind of fully digest everything that we need to know for this lesson, we need to take a brief segue here and have an understanding of something known as web app. So in order to know that, it's because they're related to browsers. So web apps are computer applications that uses a browser as a client or host environment. These are things such as whether it's a game or email or anything that's going to function in your web browser rather than on, let's say, a desktop app. Now, web apps are obviously different from mobile apps, which are what you typically find on, like, let's say, tablets or smartphones. This is an application that's meant to run through a web interface, and because it's through a web interface, it's very easy to cross-platform because it just has to function within the browser. Now, that web application, because it's cross-platform, relieves the developer of the responsibility of developing a client for a specific type of computer or a specific operating system. So you don't have to make it for Mac, you don't have to make it for PC, you don't have to make it for Chrome OS. So anyone can access and use this application as long as they can get to the internet. And how this is accomplished is through browsers. Browsers are our portal to the outside world. These are a computer program used for accessing sites or information on a network. Famous examples of these are things like Chrome, Firefox, probably some of the most popular ones today. Browsers are what act as an interface that transforms your HTML and other web code such as CSS, JavaScript, etc. into fully rendered web pages that act as a GUI environment for you. And when I say GUI, that means graphical user interface. You don't need to know that to memorize it, but just know that instead of looking at a bunch of simple text on the screen, we can see text, we can see images, we can see multimedia of all certain kinds. It's a lot nicer and more visually appealing environment. Now, browsers are simple tools, all right? Yet there can be a lot of value in the information that passes between what you type in search to what you click on or buy. And because there's all this data going back and forth, there's become a large market for using that data. We kind of discussed a little bit with privacy, so let's go ahead and discuss that privacy and how it can relate also with some malicious concerns. Now, there are numerous reasons why you would want to remain private online. There's things such as data collection, targeted ads, or even political ramifications. For example, countries that might have restrictions on free speech. These are all reasons why people may choose to remain private in the online world. However, privacy is only part of the reason to restrict what a browser can and cannot access about you. Malicious software can also infect your PC using something known as a drive-by download. And we'll talk more about malicious software later on, but this is our first introduction. It's this thing called drive-by downloads. This is harmful software that can impact your experience just by visiting a web page. And when I say just by visiting, it means that you don't have to click on anything, you don't have to hover your mouse over anything. And typically this is an ad. This is the most common way you'll see this. Sometimes it's some malicious code, but most time it's going to be an ad that has malicious code embedded into it. And simply by loading the web page that has this ad on it, you have now infected your device with whatever this is. Easiest way to bypass that then is to find a way to block that ad. All right. So let's just discuss how can you have a soft level of protection then and an improved user experience, right? Because obviously privacy is an important thing, but obviously in protecting my PC, though, that's pretty important as well. How often then, let's just say, for example, have you been to a website and you find it cluttered with ads? Some of those ads might be targeted towards you based upon like your search history, based upon maybe what you shared on social media, maybe it's things that you bought. Some of the ads might be inappropriate. You know, it could be something that's totally not related to you, and it'll be an inappropriate ad there. And you're like, I don't know how this got here. It's just on the website like this. And then, of course, some of the ads might be malicious and attempting to install malware on your PC. Using an ad blocker is one of the ways in which you can prevent these issues. Now, I know there's some gray area about the legitimacy of ad blockers and stuff like that. However, these do have some legitimate value in helping filter out these unwanted advertisements. Now, I want to stress that not all ad blockers are created equal. They're not. Some ad blockers are actually by themselves malicious, and we'll talk about malicious add-ons in a second here. But not all ad blockers are equal. One of the most popular ones is AdBlock Plus. For example, will whitelist some ads, so that means it will allow some advertisements through, or blocking what's considered to be quote unquote bad ads. Additionally, there's talk of certain browsers that use the Chromium build that the underlying API, which is the piece of the code that helps the program function, might be modified so that way ad blockers can't access the traffic as well. So they may not be able to fully function if that change goes through. However, in the meantime, let's just take a look at an example of an ad blocker that you can use and just to see how that experience can improve. So I'm just going to pop over to Chrome here. All right, and you can see here I have our good old APA citation site, and I've shut off the ad blocker I have installed here. And you can see there's a whole bunch of ads on here. I have an ad right here at the top of the screen. I have an ad over here on the side. I have 2 ads right here, and there's another ad here. So there's quite a bit of ads on here. Now I'm going to turn on this ad blocker, and the one I'm using is uBlock Origin. So in case if you're wondering which ad blocker am I using, it's this one right here. This is probably one of the ad blocker that I would recommend that you use, simply because you can use it to block all ads. In fact, you can go into settings and really narrow it down even more. But to turn it on, I'm just going to click the power button here, and you can see now it's blocked. So if I want to scrub these ads off here, because notice it's on, but there's ads are still here, it's because I need to refresh the page. So when I refresh the page, it should scrub those ads out of there. Notice the ad is gone from the top of the page, and notice the ads that were on the sides are there no more as well. So it's really kind of cleaned up my user experience now. Before, if remember that top ad had pushed this halfway down the page. Now this is right at the top. I can see everything on it. The side ads that had been cluttering up my web page and taking up some of my view are not there anymore either. So it has really cleaned up my user experience. So you can see that ad blockers, besides helping remove malicious stuff, can actually make a better user experience as well. So that is just one thing to talk about though, but there are some other issues that are related to browsers that actually might be more troublesome. Most of the issues that you typically encounter today don't necessarily relate to the browser itself. It's not necessarily something in the browser, but instead are relating to either the add-ons or the extensions that the browser may be using. So for example, let's say you have ads popping up randomly and text in your web pages that has been transformed into hyperlink pages. So if you hover over text, you'll see it's a link that it's going to take you someplace. You aren't really sure how or why this happened. But you know that it's annoying because they're like, okay, I got all this stuff popping up all over the place. How do I get it to stop? Well, it could be an add-on or an extension that is causing this problem. So you need to probably find a way to remove it. So let's talk about the steps that you can take to remove this issue. Well, first, you'll want to see if there's any add-ons in your browser. Sometimes these are easy to view. So for example, if I look here, I have an add-on right here showing uBlock in Chrome, and this is one showing it in Firefox. So sometimes you'll get these nice little thumbnails of the add-ons in your browser that you can look at in order to see whether or not there's anything there. Sometimes they may be hidden, so then you'll have to dig deeper. But this is a quick and easy snapshot way to look to see, hey, does that add-on exist? Now, alternatively, we can go right into the browser settings and check. So in Chrome, we can type Chrome://extensions. And in Firefox, I can do about:/add-ons. Both ways will get me to what I need. Now, on the Firefox page, I need to then click on extensions in order to see the extensions, because the add-ons are mostly just other things like themes and stuff like that. But if I go to extensions, once I go to that page, I'll get the same stuff. Once we have arrived at that page, we'll see a list of everything that we want to see. So then we can disable or remove any add-ons you do not recognize. All right, so let me just go over here quick. I'm just going to go new tab. Let's do Chrome:// and we're going to do extensions. And you can see in here, I have several extensions in here. I have slides, sheets, and docs. These are all Chrome apps. So these are all apps directly from Google itself. So I'm not going to worry about these. If I look up here, you can see I have a couple other ones. I have Google Docs Offline, which allows me to work with Google Docs when I lose an internet connection. And then I have uBlock Origin. So disabling an app is simple as hitting the slider here. I just shut it off. If I want to remove it, I would just click the remove button. If I wanted to do that through here where I wasn't in this page, let's say I was back on this page and I hadn't opened up extensions, I can simply right click on this and I have an option for removal. Similar things can be done in Firefox as well. All right, the next thing to discuss is changing to your settings. So let's say your search page gets changed, or the search bar is now changed to something that's not what you usually have it to, and it's causing all sorts of weird things to happen on your computer because of that. It's might be something more than just a malicious add-on that's causing the trouble. It could be something else in the browser, such as change settings or search, that is the actual source of your dilemma here. So in Chrome, we're going to go to Settings, Advanced, and click Reset and Clean Up under Reset Settings. For Firefox, we use the Help option, Troubleshooting Information, and click Refresh Firefox. So I'm just going to go show you where you can find that here in Chrome real quick. So I'm going to go up here, and you can see I have here my settings. And in here, of course, I have my different options. Okay, so way down here at the bottom is Advanced. I can click that. It expands this whole nother set of screens here. And in here, I have more options of what I can do. Now, down here at the bottom is Reset and Cleanup. And right here is Restore Settings to the original defaults. I can click this. And if I click Reset Settings, it's going to reset everything back. So whether, for example, let's say I had put some add-ons on, it will scrub the add-ons. If I had put some changes to my search engine, it will scrub those out. It will take, like, for example, any set web pages too and remove those. It's going to take it back to like you had just installed Chrome for the first time and nothing had been changed about it. That's the purpose of this button here. All right. And of course, like I said, Firefox kind of does the same thing. All right, that's going to wrap up this lesson, folks. All right, so for today's lab, you're going to be doing a little R&D, shall we say, a little research and digesting of activities here. So keep everything that we talked about in mind about privacy, malware, and all the different add-ons and settings that you're going to deal with as you work in today's lab. And I will see you next time.